And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another week, another edition of the ESL Open Cup Americas, Papi number 199. I'm, of course, host Live VIP, and with me, I'm joined by the lovely people in the chat. !B in said chat, if you wish to have a look at the bracket yourselves. We have quite a stacked bracket. I apologize for the extended delay. We were just trying to find a series. We had one initially, and some players didn't show, so we didn't quite manage to get into it, unfortunately. So we had to wait for another and then another to open up, and finally we have one, a fresh best of 3 and spawning in the top right hand corner. In the top right hand corner of Alkione, we have the Polish Protoss player representing Sidestorm Gaming. It is Gerald. And spawning in the bottom left, we have as opponent, we have the American Terran player representing Maturino Esports. It is Future. Here we go. The TvPs are upon us, and again, we were a little bit late to the start. We missed out on a couple of matches. We were holding out for others. Personally, for those wondering, I was holding out hope for Nina versus Meower Doom, a PvZ that did not take place, unfortunately. I was hoping to maybe catch a series, but yeah, it did end it just didn't happen. Just did not happen, and we had to wait for another series to open up instead. But last, we are here, and so far we're going to be going for a Zealot first back at home. Going to be a little bit annoying here. It is going to be an economic opener out of Future. Very important to take note of, because Future is a very aggressive, very cheesy, very wild player. So he can play standard, don't get me wrong, but he's very unpredictable. So keeping your eye on him is very important. And again, it is an economic opener out of our Terran player. The Marine comes out, the probe goes down, but we're not done, because Gerald, he's sending his first Zealot across the map. He's looking to delay the expansion. He's looking to get some economic damage done, not just with the Zealot, but also with the follow-up Adept. So Zealot and Adept's going to be moving out. Oh god. The goal, of course, to get a kill on this SCV and delay the construction of this command center on the low ground, and we'll see if we can get it done. We have one Marine to defend. We have a bunker on the way. The Zealot will get here just in time, and can the Zealot make a beeline for that SCV, or is it going to have to deal with this Marine first? We do push on forward here. We do get a couple of swipes in. Oh, can we get it? Oh, we can. The first SCV goes down. The second SCV as well. The bunker does finish up just in time, though. Very important that the bunker did complete, but I can't say the same for the CC, as the Adept has arrived as well. With the arrival of this Adept, that means that, again, we cannot mine from this natural base, or we cannot construct it. Oh god! The SCV! One shot away, no! SCV will barely survive here. We'll keep it alive, but again, a big delay on the expansion. Finally, it can get up and running. We have another Adept on the way, but this CC should complete by the time the Adept arrives. So, bit of chaos here in the early game, and in the end, a good start for Gerald. You know, he was able to delay this expansion for quite some time. He killed 2 SCVs, and he can even kill a third if he shades into the mineral line. He can one-shot this last remaining SCV as well. At the same time, though, Future is not going to take this line down. He's going across the map, not just with a Hellion for a bit of a scout, but also with the drop. Tank drop is upon us, and oh boy, Future is going to be looking to come out strong and hard. And we have a shield battery at the natural base, thankfully. Gerald, he is somewhat prepared. It's going to be a 2-gate opener into Blink. This looks like an economic opener to get into a third base. After seeing the economic opener of Future, it makes sense to go for a faster third. And there we go, the probe moves out, but the Hellion is here. And the expansion is going to be delayed. That's a kill on the probe, so tit for tat. Future, he delays a third. The delay on Future's expansion was more impactful, but nonetheless, we delayed the third base, and here we go. Future is sending everything across the map. He's got his tank, he's got Marines, he's got a medevac. These are vanilla Marines. Bear that in mind. Not the most impactful Marines, and one of them already goes down. But the Marines are here to just soak. They're here to just buffer and to support the tank. The tank is really where the damage comes in. Good, the tank has arrived already. Another Marine has fallen. We're looking to get within range here of the Nexus. There we go, we can shell away at it. Looking for another cancel, looking to delay this expansion even longer here. So this is actually even more important, even more crucial. We delayed earlier, but here we forced a cancel on the third base, forcing another third to be taken. Future from here, he can try to rotate around, but Blink is about to finish. The window, the timing where Future could abuse Gerald is about to close in 3, 2, 1. Blink is done. And now Gerald, he has a much higher chance here at keeping up with the army movement and shutting down something like a tank. Future knows that, so he backs off, he goes back home. He's aware of, again, the power of his opponent. 2 more gateways are thrown down, a forge as well, and we're going straight into charge. Interesting choice. So this tells us, the fact that we have charge and a forge on the way, that Geralt isn't rushing into any kind of splash damage. There are some Protoss players that go 2-gate blink into a robotics bay, into Colossus. I'm not saying we're not going to go Colossus, but for now, it's just a Swarm Toss style. Swarm Toss, aka meaning a mass gateway. Mass gateway composition out of Geralt. Can work quite well, is very flexible, can also go across the map, can harass, of course. Very maneuverable as an army composition. Lacks a straight up head-to-head firepower, but my god, that is a gateway explosion. That is 5 additional gateways on the way. We have a Templar Archives for Charge Lord Archon. So Geralt is taking up even further. And this Templar Archives also grants access to Storm, and that's when the splash damage comes in. Gonna take a while, but we're getting there. As for now, Gerald is just containing. He has 4 Stalkers, he's just picking up whatever he can, just containing Future to 2 bases, as Future goes for his own drop across the map, bypassing not just these Stalkers, but also bypassing the Zonaga Tower. We're dropping on the right-hand side. Again, Storm starting up immediately, gonna be chronoed out here by Gerald. As he's saturating his 3rd base back at home, we're just building up our forces. We have our 3-1-1 setup here from Future, +1 on the way. Just building up our forces before eventually we push out. As we push out, here comes a drop. He's looking for the 3rd. He hasn't seen it. He doesn't know. Doesn't know where the 3rd has been taken. And looks like instead he's looking to collapse on at least a handful of units here in the center of the map. Catching whatever he can. A couple of adepts, not bad. 1 adept soon to be, just 1 adept falling. And now Future knows, okay, if you haven't taken this base, then you've expanded elsewhere. He's aware of at least that. Storm not quite done. Scan ahead of time. Now, are we aware that there is no storm? That's the question. Tanks are sieging. We have a pre-split as well. Marauders head towards those Stalkers. Meanwhile, we have the tanks and Marines to help support and help zone away these Zealots and High Templar. Here we go. We're diving in. A decent mine shot's going to be going off. The storm has completed. The tanks are exposed. 1 tank goes down. A 2nd tank survives. And we only have that singular storm here. It looks like we can break through. Future, he's pushing on through just barely. Takes down the Prism, takes down the last High Templar as well. Only 1 storm, only 2 High Templar. And it looks like Future, he is breaking through. His tanks are a little bit far back, and I would love to see him bring them forward at least a little bit more, but they are within range of the Zealots. Zealots are falling. No more High Templar, no more storms. The Zealots are coming in from behind. Ideally, they want to go straight for the tanks. They go for the army instead. Ooh, a lot of tank shots go off. Big connections. The Zealots, they go down. And with those tank shots, it looks like Future, okay, he's going to back off for the time being. He's waiting for reinforcements. He knows he actually doesn't really have a lot left. He has a handful of Marauders, a handful of Marines. He's going to be pulling back instead. Finally, one of those tanks are going to be going down. A 2nd as well. We're going to be cleaned up. Big friendly fire on these medevacs. And Future is going to back off now. He wasn't all in. He is taking a 3rd base. 3rd TC is almost done behind this. He traded well. If we look at the unit loss tab here, you can see that he killed 37 Zealots, 2 High Templar, the Prism. But he lost 2 tanks, and I'm sure he wanted more there. I'm sure he wanted to either break into the 3rd. Like, again, if he was pushing towards the 3rd base, I feel like he probably would have killed the 3rd. But he was pushing towards the natural instead. And he didn't quite make it in. He's going to rotate around towards that 3rd, but at this point we do have plenty to defend. Mine drop comes in. Good reaction though. Only 3 probes go down. Could have been a lot worse. Could have been so much worse. We scan, we see saturation of the 3rd base, and now Future goes towards the Ghost Academy. We're backing off. The aggression has ended. Gerald has survived. That was a tight hold, to be fair. I was really concerned for a moment there that Gerald would be broken, that Future would be able to get on top of that Robo at least, but alas, Future barely couldn't. And again, I am of the belief here that if Future had gone for a different angle of attack, if he had pushed towards the 3rd base, he probably would have broken that 3rd as well. So, a bit high risk, high reward for him to push through the center instead. Didn't quite touch the economy. As a result, Gerald, he's fully saturated on 3 bases this entire time. He's now got a 4th on the way. He's pushing out, he has map control, and this time he has plenty of storms available. He has 3 High Templar all in the Warp Prism, so they can avoid those EMPs. Likewise, Future trying to set up back at home defensively. There are no more tanks. The tank out was reset. A lot of these medevacs are very low. Speaking of, yeah, 1 medevac gets sniped, and we could see a couple more going down as well. The Future going to be peeling off a force here towards the left-hand side. Armory is finally on the way. The armory is late, which means 2-2 is delayed. Not ideal. Not ideal here for Future. Meanwhile, Gerald, he's finally diversifying his splash damage. He has storms, don't get me wrong, but he wants more than just storms. Disruptors are on the way. Only a singular robo. Once the 4th base gets up and running, we should be throwing down a 2nd robo. And, oh, there it is. 2nd robo is on the way for double disruptor production. We can even head towards triple robo as time goes on. Once we get a secure economy, secure 4 bases. Future is pushing out though, and he's got a pretty hefty army. He's scanning ahead of time. He's trying to get eyes on where the 4th base has been taken. His army has been spotted. Now Future is up 30 supply, but 1 Nova could be all it takes. 1 good purification. Now we have a Zealot run back, but we have reinforcements back at home. The Zealots, they do nothing. Nova goes off, gets 1 Widow Mine. Gerald is standing strong. Future actually sending his medevacs back home here just to support his army. Just to support those Marines and Marauders. There we go, good EMP! Does catch the Archon. Oh! Ooh. Losing 1 Marauder in the process. Clutch pickup there. Avoiding the storms as well. There's still 2 more High Templar in that War Prism. EMP is going to be clutch. We have a secondary army here pushing towards that 3rd base. And Gerald, can he defend both locations at once? So far, he has a couple of gateway units, but no splash damage here on the left-hand side. And Future's actually rotating everything over towards the left. Gerald's out of position. He has 5 disruptors, but they're not here. Yeah, now we're going straight for the Nexus Overcharge. Going to try to keep it alive. The storms! Up! Ooh. Storms do graze the army. And Future has to back off. He barely didn't kill the Nexus. Uh-oh. Nexus did not go down the mine shots. Oh my god. Big storms, massive storms on the army. Likewise, good EMPs, but Future is being forced back. Look at how close this was. This Nexus barely stands strong. Barely survived. It would have been huge if Future had gotten a kill on this base. It was so close to going down. But the reality is that it didn't. And because it didn't, Gerald, he's surviving. He is stable here on a 4-base economy. He preserved all of his disruptors. He did lose his Prism, did lose his High Templar, that is true. But that is, what, 6 disruptors with the main army. Colossi coming out of the minefield, no! Oh. No Colossi now. That's big mine connection here from Future. A lot of value been taken, but again, 6 disruptors is still a big deal. +1 ship weapons on the way. We're getting into, I imagine, Liberator production towards, you know, on the horizon. Future trying to push on in. These High Templar not ready with Storm, not yet. One Archon goes down. Decent feedbacks. Here comes the rest of the army. Colossi, the disruptors. And there's no way for Future to push in. But this is a big reaction here from Gerald. He brings his entire army over. Future, there's an opening. He goes straight for the 4th base. Can he get a kill this time? We have the overcharge. Yeah, overcharge is going to keep it alive. Future, he's desperately been trying to snipe some of these bases, but he just cannot. Oh. No! Is he looking? Okay. He's looking, man. He's looking. Oh, God. It's getting ahead of time, does spot all those disruptors. Gonna respect them quite a bit. We see Gerald taking a 5th base behind this. Meanwhile, Future getting his own 4th planetary up and running. Our +1 ship weapons did complete. I believe we still don't have a fusion core. And no fusion core yet, no +2 either. But Future, he's maxing out here on a bio army. The Novas go off! Oh, friendly fire with the Nova! Does not connect with the Terran army. And now we're collapsing here on the Protoss. Novas are going to be going off as well. The Colossi going ham. The Storms as well. Overall, good control here from Gerald. A bit of a blunder Nova initially, but afterwards he was able to clean it up. Forces the army back. He is holding, but this was a costly trade. Gerald, he maintains his economy, yes, but look at the units tab. We're down to, oh my god, we're even struggling to deal with these Marauders, but we're down to 3 Disruptors. The Disruptor count is getting lower. We have no High Templar for Storm. Like, there are 2 High Templar here, but they don't have enough energy for Storm. Gerald, I feel like his splash damage is very lax here. Doesn't have too much of it. He's oversaturated at his 3rd base. He needs to get this 5th up and running, but as I say, that future is here. He dives on the 5th base, and this is going to go down. Gerald, he is very mineral starved at this point. He needs more mining, and he just cannot get it. You can see here that we have an even economy, as in 4 bases versus 4 bases, which is a better thing for the Terran. Protoss is in trouble here. And if these trades keep going the way of future, then, like, if we can keep on picking up a Colossus, a Disruptor here or there, then Gerald, he cannot maintain those losses. He cannot. Here we go. Future just going to be setting up or knocking down these rocks on the right-hand side to make it a little bit easier to rotate around and deny bases. We can see mines are set up towards the left-hand side as well. Again, all to deter any kind of mining, any kind of bases. Here we go. Future is pushing in. It's going to be going off. Future setting up a Doom Drop. There's nothing to scout, but there are... oh my god, there are Archons in position. I think we... okay, never mind. I was like, could we have ignored them? We have 2 High Templar with Storms as well. Probably not. Do need to respect that here from Gerald. It's going to be going up. Gerald's now finally expanding, taking a 5th. Using the EMP on those Zealots. Quite able to push in. Game will settle from here, but we're settling in a obviously a more advantageous place here for Future. Once again, EMP is going off, and the constant goal here for Future: deny the 5th, deny the 5th over and over and over again. Contain Gerald, starve him out. Future is maxing, and now we have the Fusion Core and Liberators on the way, plus 2 air attack about to finish up for the Terran, and Liberators will change everything. Decent EMPs. Likewise, a good Storm. See Future rotate around. Doesn't quite have eyes on the Nexus. Doesn't know that it's being taken, actually. But he is rotating his army around. Looking to converge here on the left-hand side. And he needs to deny the space. Oh, the Novas! Don't quite connect. Future sending everything over towards the left-hand side. Geralt is leaving some forces towards the right, but he still has plenty of Disruptors, Storms, Colossi. He can deal with this, especially using this choke point. Here come the Freedom! Liberation zones have arrived. Making 2 lives at a time. Liberator range in production as well for Future. Oh my god. What did... it's like 5 probes died. What happened? I think... oh, over here. They were transferring. Probes are transferring over. We're going to try and dive on these libs, and... oh, it's not going to work out. 2 Disruptors go down. Big storm. A massive storm on the army. We just tanked through it. And we're going to be recalling towards the right-hand side. Okay, we have a better position set up here from Geralt. It's going to try and converge from 2 angles. But it looks like there may just be too much Terran. Pushing into the Liberator is just going to be too difficult. Novas go off. Good connections. Good connections from Geralt. He does force this back. Fights his way through the Liberators. Now Future's in a lot of trouble. Again, he took some big Novas to the face. Good target firing on some of these disruptors. He gets 2, he gets 3. One disruptor is left. But the would-be planetary goes down. Gerald, he has momentum. He keeps on pushing. Takes down another orbital as well. And Future, he's just running out of steam, running out of momentum. A lot of his supply are in medevacs. Good target firing on one more disruptor. The planetary falls. The Nova, does connect, and Gerald, he barely breaks through. It was close. It was a close game, but you know what? Gerald, he did get the 5th base up and running. He was able to build up his robo-based army, kept all of his Colossi alive. The Disruptors may have fallen, but the Colossus stands strong. We never invested into Vikings, just bio into Lib. And again, Future was doing well for himself, was doing well. But eventually, Gerald, he broke out. The boys, they have to be pulled. We have some reinforcements coming in as well, but the Colossus, they're just going ham. There is no answer for them. Colossus cleaning up what little is left. GG gets called, and Gerald will take game number 1. GG. We'll take game 1, but that was a close one. Initially, Future, he was in the driver's seat. You could argue that early on, Future was maybe being a little bit too wasteful. He wasn't really getting what he wanted. Remember, he didn't kill the 3rd or the 4th multiple times, but he was still finding himself in a really advantageous position. But in the end, it did slip through his fingers. Geralt was able to just connect and have some really key fights with some good storms, with some good novas. And from there, snowball out of control. GG. GG, well played. Sometimes one good fight is all you need. Especially, you know, in that kind of situation when your bases are so close to each other. Once you lose a fight, you lose a base, you lose your economy, and it all snowballs out of control. GG, well played. And with that, we're getting ready for game number 2. And game 2 is going to be taking place on Oceanborn. Let's go. So I'm going to need one momento. I'll be back soon. Oh. Back in here we go, spawning in the top left-hand corner of Oceanborn. We have the Polish Protoss player, the red Protoss representing Storm Gaming. It is Gerald. Leading the series 1-0, and spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent, we have the American Terran representing Maturino Esports down in the series, but not out. It is Future. The future is here. The future is now. And we are setting up for a bit of a proxy. We're spicing things up. So a lot's happening right now. Initially, Future is going for a fake proxy Rax here. A hidden proxy Rax at his 3rd base location. This is very common in this matchup where the Terran player either hides the Rax further back in their main or at the natural location, linear 3rd, triangular 3rd, they just hide it. Just to make the probe scout a little bit worried and concerned about an actual proxy. Meanwhile, Geralt delays his probe scouts and just goes straight up for a proxy 2-gate. Very aggressive opener here. He does come across a lack of Rax. It's going to be a double gas opener for a faster factory. Thankfully for Future, he isn't going Rax expand. If he was going for a singular gas opener, then Future would be in a lot of trouble right now because he just would have very limited units available to defend. I would say that even now, Future is in a really rough position as he's checking with his SCV. He scouts. He does come across both gateways. And again, thankfully, because of this setup, we can make a factory soon. We should be able to get into Cyclones, into Hellions. With the change, of course, with the most recent change, you don't need that tech lab to actually produce Cyclones. So Cyclones early on in TvP are king. They are ideal. Reaper comes in, and yeah, we're going to be able to shut down this probe. And we should be able to hold on. Now, this will delay the expansion, but Gerald, he's taking his next behind this. This will delay the CC, I should say. CC should be built on the high ground. Gerald, he knows he got scouted, and he's waiting for his Cybercore first to finish up before he commits to any Stalkers or Adepts. There it is, Stalkers are on the way. Stalker and Adept even, just a bit of everything. And the game will settle from here. Again, this isn't all in out of Gerald. This is designed to punish a low ground CC, like we saw in the previous game where Gerald, he was doing his best to snipe that SCV and delay the expansion. Similar story here, but far more aggressive and even looking to cancel the expansion. As we can see, Future, oh my god, he's doubling down. This isn't just a double gas opener. This isn't just racks into factory into CC. We have a starport first. Starport before CC. A very aggressive opener here by Future. He is delaying his expansion by a lot to make this work. He's going for an early mine drop, it looks like. Reapers are moving out. Just going to be confirming that there are units lying in wait outside. It's going to be a Twilight Council opener out of Gerald. Oh! So Reapers take a couple of hits, but they do manage to escape the clutches of this Stalker. They're moving out across the map, looking to get some economic damage as well. Meanwhile, this is very... again, this makes sense. So because we went for a starport before the CC, we need to get economic damage done. We need to kill workers with this drop. And how do we secure that? Armory. Armory is on the way. Detection will be required by the Protoss to deal with this. And we do not have detection. No Robo, no Forge, no Stargate. It's a Twilight Council opener, and because of the proxy gateways as well, that does delay any kind of Forge, or sorry, any kind of Robo from Gerald. This is gonna get scary. Now, as long as Future can avoid the army, if he can get across the map, he will delay a lot of mining. We now have a Robo on the way. It's in production as we speak, but here comes the mine drop, and the armory is done. Now, Gerald is containing, and he's going to apply a lot of pressure. He's going to try and bust into the main base. We need some repairs. SCVs, they will get here in time. Meanwhile, here comes the mine drop. Oh, we do invest all 3 Widow Mines here at the natural. Yeah, we do need to pick some of them up. We're taking a lot of hits. 1 mine goes off here in the natural. The other 2 go off in the main. Up. The splits. Splits are there, but not completely. 8 workers go down. Detection is required, which means, because this Robo is just now finishing, we are going to get additional shots off. We'll get 1 more volley. 1 more volley of Widowmine shots will go off. Observers on the way. It's being chronoed, but again, it's not going to get here in time. Tank has arrived. Gerald is trying to delay the expansion for as long as he can. The mine shot! 5 more probes here at the natural. Meanwhile, in the main base. Oh, 9 in total. And finally, this is all going to get cleaned up, but that is well worth it. That is 18 probes going down for Gerald. An insane amount of economic damage. Meanwhile, the tanks, they have arrived. Blink not quite done, forcing a recall. And all 3 Stalkers go down. Again, this is disastrous. The medevac makes it back home. We can repair. Medevac does pull back. And Future finds himself in a commanding position. He's on 35 workers. He's on 2 bases. He has a solid tank count. He's got a Raven as well in case there were anything like DTs. And this was a 2-gate blink opener. This was 2-gate blink. Wait, I mean, I guess technically 3-gate. 3-gate blink. We're doubling down. Oh my god. Throwing down 2 more gateways. 5 gates in total. Gerald, this looks like a 2-base all-in. This does look like a 2-base all-in out of Gerald, and it makes sense because he sustained so much economic damage at this level of play. Very unlikely that you can expand and macro out of this without doing some counter damage of your own. So we're going to be doubling down. Charges on the way. The only role here for Future, his win condition, defend. Survive. Survive back. Observer grants high ground vision. We do get eyes on the tanks. Gerald, he's aware. Again, we have 3 tanks set up here for Future. Marine Stim is on the way. +1. Now, Gerald, he can dip into main base. He can try to get on top of this tank. The tank looking quite vulnerable. He wants it, Bappy. He wants it. And, oh, Future, he doesn't see. He moves out of position. Tank goes down. A good start for Gerald. Gets 1 tank, a couple of Marines before getting the hell out of here. Meanwhile, Future going to try and come in from behind, but the Raven does escape. Oh, and that's a lot of damage being done. The Raven once again. Under threat, but it will survive. A couple of Stalkers do go down. Gerald's going to try and reinforce with charge lots, but they're slow. They're slow lots. They don't have charge. And Future is looking to just collapse here on top of these gateways, shut them down. But from behind, we do have those Stalkers coming in. They get one Widowmine for their troubles, but the gateways will fall. So what used to be 5 gates is down to 3. Sorry, down to 3. Oh, we threw more down. 3 down to gateways. We have 4 in the main. We have 1 here, so it's still 5 gateways. It was actually 7 earlier. And the Stalkers, they just avoid the army. They go straight for the main base. They camp the production, and some forces are coming back home, pulling the boys even. Oh, rough trades for Future. He's going to be losing a lot. 6 SCVs. And we recall back home. That was a rough moment for Future, and yeah, Gerald, he's fighting back. Storm is on the way, but he's still stuck on 2 bases. Future has a 3rd CC on the way. Big anti-armor missile. Oh my god. Azalts are going to try and do what they can, but so many of them go down. Again, the debuff, the anti-armor missile, putting in a lot of work. Overcharge trying to support, but doesn't really do much here in this fight. We have more reinforcements on the way. Future looking to snowball out of control. Future looking to tie up this series. Looking to force the ace match. Storm still not done. Future sees that it's still being researched. The Storm will finish up in a couple of seconds, and I think we have 1. But the mines. Yeah, massive mine shot's going to be going off. The army goes down. There's nothing left. Only 1 Stalker and 1 High Templar. Gerald, I'm sure he wants to use that 1 Storm. There it is. The Storm connects. Not bad. Well, that's all she wrote back. That's all we had left. As Future, he breaks the natural. GG gets called. And Future will tie up the series 1-1. GG, well played. Well played, and with that, we have an ace match. We have a game 3. We're going the distance. We're going all the way. And that is the way we like it. As just gonna be clearing some things up. Here we go. Ace match is upon us. And yeah, really solid game there out of Future. Really good decision making as well. After realizing that he was being proxied and he was being cheesed in a way, he was able to just capitalize on that. Went for an armory, went for a very dedicated mine drop, and that's what won him the game. I mean, a couple. There was a little bit of luck involved. The luck being that the fact that he happened to go for a double gas opener, so really good decision making out of Future to go double gas. And to delay his CC on the low ground, it did allow him to actually go for a more aggressive build like a 1-1-1 into the mine drop, and that just punished Gerald so hard, did so much damage, and crippled the economy, forced Gerald all in, and Future was in the driver's seat from the get-go. And now we're getting into game number 3 here, and things are looking quite close between the two of them, but this map is going to be an interesting one, going to lead to a very interesting game. We're loading in to Golden Aura. Here we go, spawning in the top left-hand corner of Golden Aura. We have the Polish Protoss player representing Storm Gaming. It is Gerald. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the American Terran player representing Macherino Esports. It is Future. Future is here, and the Future is forcing the ace match. Let us go. SSV going to be moving out. Of course, Golden Aura is quite an interesting map. Is very, very difficult to break a 3-base player here on this map. These 3 bases are very tight-knit, very close together, so you can hold on to them relatively easily. You can get away with some greed. Likewise, we have the gold base in the bottom left-hand corner of the map. The 4th base is a little more exposed, especially this linear fourth base. Even here on the right-hand side, there's some really good tank positions that you can take advantage of as well. So the fourth is another story, and we'll see if we can get there as the SCV gets across the map. But Gerald is already in position. Because of the damage done to this SCV, this eBay is going to be cancelled. We should not be able to get too much progression on this, and Gerald will be able to take his natural. We do force the cancel. Again, nice foresight out of Gerald to be able to be in position here to scout and to confirm whether an SCV comes in. He's going to try to come on forward as well, but is one shot away from going down. Oh. So Gerald will expand. Now, again, if Gerald didn't have a probe in position, then future, he'll get an eBay going. He'll be able to almost complete it, leave it alone, able to move away from it before it finishes, I should say, and Gerald will be forced to expand elsewhere. Whether here the linear third or the triangular third, and then future can come in with an all-in, come in with like a very committed push and punish him, but alas, that is not going to be the case. Meanwhile, future going for a Rax expand, only a single gas opener, economic this time out of future. As opposed to the more aggressive opener that future went for in the previous game. Oh my god, as future is not just going for an economic opener, he's following it up with a second Rax, which should lead into a third Rax. So this is going to be a 3 Rax here out of future, very bio heavy. This is ideal against a Stargate opener. There's that third Rax that we were talking about. And Gerald happens to be going for a Stargate opener as well. So future actually is unaware of this. Even though this build is ideal against Stargate, it can still work and still do decently well against a Twilight Council opener, but just, you know, ideal against Stargate. The reason why I say that, because Oracles and Phoenixes they don't really pose much of a threat to Mass Marine, and Mass Marine is what's going to be coming out. We're going to be hitting a timing with Stim and Combat Shields, and Geralt is in the dark. He doesn't really know what's going on. He does see the command center. This CC posted a little bit too close here to the wall, so Geralt, he does get eyes on the building CC, so he knows that it's an economic opener. So Geralt, he can ease things up. He can breathe a little bit more freely here, being aware that his opponent is expanding. What he doesn't know if it's a 1-1-1, doesn't know if it's like a 2-1-1 or a 3 Rax. Geralt still has to piece this together. As the Adepts will arrive and... oh yeah, the Marines, they have to reveal themselves. Yeah, the Marines are revealed. Again, this still isn't confirmation of the 3 Rax, but it's looking more and more likely. Back at home. We're just setting up on 2 bases. We're going for a Twilight Council follow-up. So it's going to be Phoenixes into, I imagine, charge. Of course, that would make the most sense. Those wondering, you typically don't get Blink alongside Phoenixes because they both have the same role. They both accomplish the same thing. So you go for one or the other. So Phoenixes and Charge Lots, they do mesh well together. Will they be ready in time? Because again, our upgrades are on the way. Phoenixes are moving out, and Phoenixes will get confirmation as they spot every single one of these Raxes. They also reveal themselves. Future didn't go for a Reaper, so Future actually didn't really know what's happening, but now he does. Now he does confirm those Phoenixes. And Future, he ignores them. He's just going across the map. Bold move. Does end up losing a couple of SCVs as a result. But immediately, Gerald, he's like, hold up, where's the army? What? Something is wrong. What is going on? Stim is finishing up in 10 seconds. What do we have at home to defend? We have vanilla gateway units, a shield battery, an overcharge. We should be able to hold on to the natural. This should be enough. But I don't think we can hold on to the third. Uh-oh. So here we go. We do reveal the army. Yeah, we force a cancel on the third base. Get a kill on the pylon. A good start here for Future. Even supply blocking. Gerald. Uh-oh. Okay. He breaks free. Breaks free from the supply block. The Marine army can threaten, but because of the overcharge, we can't dive in. We cannot dive in, even with Stim. Not going to be a worthwhile trade. Future is going to rotate around. His goal, keep containing on 2 bases. Phoenix is achieving quite a lot here. Getting some more SCVs. You can see that Geralt, he's trying to set up a third base here on the right-hand side. Jaesuk. Castor Park. This is the first time I've actually heard someone use the Castor Park announcer. I appreciate it, because usually it's Diva. It's usually Diva. Future's a Castor Park enjoyer. Let's go. Phoenix is going to be going down. Future comes back in, looking for another cancel on this base. We do have charge. That's a kill, not a cancel. Oh my papi. And Gerald stepping up quite a lot there. Phoenix going to be focused down. The army as well. Future is snowballing out of control. Cleans up the adepts. Goes for another stim. Doesn't quite get the Phoenix, but killing that Nexus. That is 400 minerals down the drain. You can see Gerald, he wants to try to catch this army if possible. And he will trade well. Loses a couple of zealots. But we'll clean this up. Behind this, Future getting a 3rd CC on location. Building up his forces back at home. No bunkers, but he does have Widow Mines. He should be safe and sound. He should be able to deal with any kind of counterattack. And Gerald is in a really rough place. His 3rd base was cancelled first and then killed afterwards. The mine! Oh my god, the hidden mines under the Marauders! 2 Phoenixes go down. Future with some slick moves. Oh, able to shut down more of those Phoenixes. The CC is going to be delayed for a moment. Charizard's going to be threatening that SCV as well. Getting both actually, oh my god. Very nicely done here by Gerald. At the same time, he's going to be rotating towards the south. Doesn't quite manage to get away, though. Get away with it. And he's going towards charge. That is going to be a splash damage of choice. Going to be charged on Archon as a transition. He has been forced to rebuild some of his Phoenixes. He has 2 Phoenixes at this point, and as a result, Future, if he wanted to go for a drop play, he could. The Phoenix count is almost non-existent. Speaking of drop play, it still has to respect it, though. Oh my god, the drop! Does go down. A good pickoff here from Gerald. A very necessary pickoff. He needed something to go his way. But the proxy has been found. At the same time, he goes for a counterattack. He goes straight for the 3rd TC. SCVs are exposed. A lot of lost mine time as well. And Future doesn't turn around. He's crazy. Future, he's committing. He's going for a big counterattack, and I'm sure Gerald is aware that something is wrong. There are a lot of zealots. Storm finishes in 10 seconds. Hiding out of Future, taking down a lot of these zealots, but Storm is now done. Up! The Marauders, they peel away, they zone away those High Templar. Oh, but they still land a juicy Storm. Oh my god. And the army deep in the red, but still enough to take down the Stalker, still enough to take down the High Templar as well. Future, he's barely being forced back, but we have reinforcements, and Future, he just has too much. The damage that he dealt early on, just, yeah, far too much to really recover from. Gerald, he's down to only a handful of units. GG gets called, and Future will take the series 2-1, advancing on to the next round. GG. GG, well played. Future popping off here. I mean, again, Future, he was looking good in game 1. Game 1 just went, it came down to a bad fight. A really, really bad fight in game 1. Snowballed into a victory for Gerald. Game 2 or game 3, though, Future, he was a lot more in control. He was able to dictate the pace of the game. Able to take it in the end, and look impressive doing so. GG, well played. And yeah, again, to be fair, you know, both of these players are amazing in their own right, and I just realized I had the wrong... Oh, yeah. Just realized I had the wrong logo there. Both players are amazing in their own right, and I wish them both the best of luck in ESL Masters Winter, but here they could only be one, and this week it is going to be Future